saying, and I'm pretty sure you've heard about it, where it says, if you show me 5 of your closest friends, 5 of the closest people who are around you, then I'm going to show you the trajectory of where your life is going to be based on those 5 people, not based on what you say whatsoever, but based on those 5 people alone. And when I read that quote, when I read that saying, it before I was like, yeah, whatever, like, this person does this doesn't mean my life is going to be like that, because that's who they are and I associate with them. But the honest truth is, you are who you surround yourself with. You become more like them. And I know sometimes we don't like to admit it. I know sometimes we don't like to think about it. But imagine, sometimes you begin to even look like them. Like, have you seen spouses who have been together for 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, and they start looking the same? Or maybe you guys start completing each other's sentences, you start thinking the same and whatsoever. It's true. We truly are like the people who are around us, and who we spend time with, who we confide in, who we allow in our lives directly affects our peace. They affect our growth. They affect our purpose, our spiritual. They affect every area of our lives. And one of those group of people is friendship. Unfortunately, there's so many people who are in friendships right now that friendship, as amazing as it was, it served its time 10 years ago. It served its time 15 years ago, or maybe 30 years ago. But we have brought them into our present season when they're not supposed to be with us, respectfully speaking. Not because the person is bad, or the group of people, organization, whatever is bad. No, but because the current season of your life, you're not supposed to have them. They're not supposed to be in there directly. So, family, today I want to talk about something very important, and I need you to put some extra ears on, 10 ears. Go ahead and borrow some ears and stick them on, because we are talking about friendship, auditing friendships, who can stay, when it's time to end certain friendship, right here, moments of effort about love, life, and God. And before I dive in, I want to hear, what is your longest friendship, I should say. What is your longest friendship with your best friends? At 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years? Let me know in the comment section. And also, what makes you guys still friends? What's going on? I want to hear, this is your time to gush about your best friend. Even if it's 1 month that you've been friends, 1 year, whatever. Gush about the person who you're just like, that is my person, okay? All right. Now listen. Friendship audit is so important. And like I said earlier, a lot of us, we ignore it. We're just like, well, I've known this person since elementary school. I've known this person since primary school. I've known this person since we were in kindergarten. We were this, my family always have known this person whatsoever. And I get it. You want to be loyal. You want to be all of that. But there are seasons of your lives, like I said earlier, that some of the people who are in your life right now had no business partaking in. Absolutely no business. Because listen, not all friendships are meant to last forever. It's not because those people are bad people. It's not because, no. There are some friendships that are there for a season. There are some that are there for temporarily. There are some that are completely toxic and you just gotta get rid of, okay? But not everybody's meant to be in your life forever. Everyone that you come across, no. One thing that I usually do is every single year, especially around October, November-ish, I sit down with myself, and it's not like I'm writing with them, but I start thinking, and I'm thinking, these are the people who have been close to me this entire year. These are people, last year, 10 years ago, whatsoever. Because there's some people right now, right, who are your number ones, but they're supposed to be your number 3. They're supposed to be your number 12. So there are times you gotta rearrange certain things. And I'm not saying click, cut them off, but there's some people that need to be rearranged. Some people that were at number 12, but they actually are supposed to be at number 3. So you make that audit. You go and check that, because you know what auditing is, right? You go and check. And it's very important that we do so. Why? Because carrying old baggage into a new year, carrying old baggage into a new season, carrying an old baggage into, and I know it sounds harsh, the word I'm using, saying baggage, right? Because I'm trying to be nice. There's some people who are boogers, but you know what I'm trying to say. But what it does is that it keeps you stuck. It keeps you stuck in the past. There's some people who every time you're around, the only thing they want to talk about is, oh, I remember those good old days. I remember when and I'm not saying that you shouldn't cherish memories, because I love memories. I love talking about growing up. I love those things. But but you know exactly what I'm talking about. They always want to keep you in the past. Like, it's like they never want to see you grow. Man, you don't switched up on me. Man, you don't change. Man, you no longer drink with me. Like, they want to constantly, you're here, you stop drinking. They want to constantly take you back. You stop clubbing. They want to constantly take you back. You stop sleeping around. They want to take you back all the time. You switched up on me just because you became a Christian. You switched up on me because you got married. Yes, I got married. And not because I am married. There's some things we used to do. There's some places we used to go. There's some things we used to talk about that I can't no more because I'm not a married woman. I'm not a married man. I'm not a mother. I'm not a dad. I can't. But you knew me first. Awesome. I know. I love you. But I just can't right now. That time has changed. How many people have toss that I knew you first, I knew you longer, and some nonsense that I hear online. I'm never gonna switch up for no man on my friends. That's your husband. That's your husband. Oh, I knew my friends for 20 plus years. I've only known him for 5 years. Okay, if that's the issue, then why did you not marry your friends? Why did you go and say yes to him? Listen. It is important for you to audit, because if you don't, you're going to constantly keep apologizing. Oh, I'm so sorry that I couldn't spend time with you. My daughter had this and this and this. You're going to constantly keep apologizing for things you have no business apologizing in. Check. How many people around you are you constantly apologizing, for whatever? I'm sorry I was in church today. I couldn't come. I know you. And look, I'm not saying be a bad friend. That's what I'm saying. But there's certain people that for a fact you'll constantly keep apologizing for who you are, for where you are right now. Because look, there's some friendship that keeps you distracted and exhausted from your purpose. And you know it. You know it. One thing I always say to myself, and I'm always praying, I say, God, help me to never deceive me. I never want to deceive myself. I don't want to lie to myself. I don't want to pretend. I know for a fact that I'm not supposed to be right here chilling with you. I'm supposed to be elsewhere. But I'm here chilling because I want to be found as that friend who shows up, who's always available. But I know for a fact I'm not supposed to. Help me to be real with myself. Say, look, girl, you better get up. This is not where you're supposed to be. You're not supposed to be, you're in gangs right now. And you're not supposed to be in that. You're getting the sense that it is time for you to close this chapter of your life. You did it in your teenager. You're 47 years old and you're still hanging out in the same. Come on now. Whew. A friendship audit is not about you being mean. It's not about you thinking you're better than that person. No, it's spiritual housekeeping. You're doing housekeeping. When you do housekeeping, there's some things you gotta just throw away. There's some things you keep you safe. You're there for just certain times, certain seasons, certain whatever. There's some things that are there, you're rearranged, you're moving, you're checking, and that's when you find out, oh my goodness, I've lost this. Oh, I found this. Oh, I don't need this. You know what I mean? That's what it is. It makes room for growth. It makes room for peace. It makes room for purpose. So you have to audit your friends, the people you call friends, the people who you are surrounding yourself with. You have to. So FA, what do I do? How do I know who's supposed to stay with me right now? How do I know what to check and stuff? How do I know all these things? There are signs of people that you need to cut off, go respectfully, okay? Number one, consistently negative energy. That they always bring that negative energy. Before, when you guys were in high school, you tolerated a little bit, right? You were like, okay, at least I get a break from you, in second period and third period and fourth block. I don't have to be all the time. But now it's just look, man, I can't. They're always complaining. They're always gossiping or projecting their drama onto you. Always negative. Always. You gotta what? Respectfully. Number two, jealous. They're jealous of you. They're envious. And you can tell. It's there's always that comparison thing. You do this, they must have to go and do too. You do this, oh, me too. You just, oh, me too. Or just, oh, my husband did this too. Or this, it's okay. Is it a competition? I'm not saying that because you have something, they too should have something. But okay. Let me calm down. Because when I get so worked up about certain things, let me calm down. Listen, once again, the worst thing you can do to yourself, deceive yourself. A lot of things I'm saying right now, some of you, you've already sensed it, you've already seen it, but you have not allowed yourself to go that far. So sometimes you dismiss it. Maybe sometimes people around you have actually spoken or said it or brought it up, but like, nah, Tamia would never do this. Nah, Jasmine would never do this. Musa would never do that. But you've seen these signs of it. Okay? Because here's the thing. Do they celebrate your wins? Or are you the one who's always celebrating it? Do they belittle, minimize, or compete with you constantly? Think about it. Number 3, lack of reciprocity. Yes. Do you always give? Are you the one who always advise, to always support, to always be doing the stuff while they take and disappear when it's your turn? They're nowhere to be found. On birthdays, you're the one who go all out. They never show up for you. And listen, I'm not saying that if a friend does not give you a birthday gift, it means they're bad friends, okay? There's some people who, like for me, if you have kids, I am a person who, when giving gifts to kids, that's my specialty. Before adults, like, I don't know what to, like, even we've been sisters and best friends for years, I'm like, I don't know what to give you. I don't know. So here's money. Like, that's just me, okay? So maybe you can call me bad friend. Maybe I'm your friend right now and you gotta cut me. That's okay. I respect your boundaries. It's fine. But so I'm not saying that, whatever. But there are people like, they don't celebrate your wins. No, nothing. They don't do that. They don't reciprocate, the things that you do for them. I'm not saying it should be exactly the same, but there's a level of, you got me, I got you too. That you know for a fact that they are indeed there. That even though we may not talk every single day, maybe once in a blue, like one of my best friends, we've been friends since high school, literally the freshman year of high school, and we don't talk every day. We don't even talk every month. Maybe it's like once in every whatever. And somebody might be like, that's your best friend. Yes, because when we're together, it's like time never left, whatever. But the love is there. The genuine care is there. Like when I need this girl, she is there. Like we'll drop everything. It will just be there with no question. Like we've done so many crazy things together. She's one of those people who, I love, that I will call her and she will be suspicious, whatever it is, because she knows I'm a jokester. Like I'm dramatic, okay? I'm sure about that, you can tell. And I would do whatever. I remember there was one surprise I surprised her last year. And I was like, you gotta go to my house and this and this and this and blah, blah, blah. Like I made up this entire story. And she shows up suspicious, like I don't know what's happening, I'm so scared. But she shows, like, it was just the love, that it was just there. And I'm like, this is my girl, okay? This is my lifelong type of person. That is the category she's in, all that stuff, right? So you check that. Do they disappear when it's your turn? Number 4, do they disrespect your boundaries? Oh my goodness. You've placed limits. Do they disrespect it? Do they disrespect your time? Do they, or your values, the thing that you value? Look, just because we're best friends does not mean that we should like the same thing, or that we should value the same thing, we should this. Because people are people. Even your spouse, you and your spouse are not the same. No, even your siblings, that both of you grew up in the same house, you're not the same. You will always have differences. But irrespective of those differences, do you value what I value? Like, do you respect that, I should say? Do you respect that value? Like, one of my girls as well, we started this thing. Well, we need to start working on it, right? We started this thing where once a month we're just like, we're going to go ahead and do something, activities or whatsoever, just do things, right? And it was her turn and she chose this place, and we didn't really tell each other or rules or anything like that. I just assumed that, she should have known whatsoever, right? So she chose this place that it has, it was this restaurant. It does this drag queen stuff and all that. And then I told her, I said, listen, I'm not comfortable with going there. Like, that's not for me. She's like, what? Why? It's gonna be fun. It's not like they're doing anything and whatever, because she didn't see anything wrong with that. But I don't want to go participate in the stuff like that. And of course, she got a little defensive about it, because she thought it's gonna be cool, whatever, because the plan was supposed to do things that would take us out of our own comfort zone. So I spoke to her. I said, that is too, it's like, there are certain things I just will not do. There's certain, like, I'm eager, like, I'm down for doing exciting stuff and whatnot, but I'm sorry, I can't compromise on this. I'm just not going. So we talked. She thought, okay, no problem. Then the next day, I guess she thought, like, I forgot. I didn't forget, but I wasn't mad or anything like that. But a few days later, she calls me. She's like, hey, I want to apologize. I was like, what's up? What's going on? She's like, you were saying A, B, and C, but I wasn't listening to you. I was listening to respond. I was listening to, retaliate and do this. But I just want to say thank you for coming. Thank you for letting me. Thank you that you weren't comfortable. Thank you for, and that was a sign of respect, a sign of, I value that. I respect your limits. I respect your boundaries. But there's some people who don't, who could care less. They could care less. So what do you got to do? Okay. Number 5, do they encourage sin or bad habits? Do they do that? Do they pull you away from your purpose, pull you away from your faith, pull you away from peace? Like, you're trying to turn around. You're trying to go forward. You're trying to be that goal chaser. You're trying to be this person, and they just keep pulling you back and encouraging all those old procrastination, all this stuff. Listen, of all those things I've said so far, if you check more than one, right? That friendship is a candidate for pruning. I'm not saying that you should cut off completely whatsoever. There's some times that you may have to sit with that person and actually have a conversation. Because some people, like for me with my friend, I was like, I just assumed that she would already see how my lifestyle was, that she would already whatever. There's some people genuinely, it's not like that they don't care whatsoever, but genuinely like, you know what, like, you're down to earth, whatever, but they need that conversation to be had. So there's somebody that you may have to go and talk to today before this week ends, right? Now let's go to that categorizing thing that I spoke about, because not every friendship should be let go. Not everybody should be let go. No, okay? Some just need perspective. That's the best way to put it. They need perspective. So one of the things that I started doing is start categorizing people, right? Now, there are people who are placed in my category of lifelong. They're like, my deep roots and my ride or die. They're people, and the amazing part of these people, right, in this category, I don't talk to them every single day. It's like so crazy. These are people who I talk maybe like once every blue moon, once a month or something like that. I don't talk to them every single day at all. But these people, regardless of whether I talk to them all the time or not, they know who I am. So they should know you. They support you and will show up no matter what. Like I described one of my best friends. No matter what, my deep root, like literally we go in, right? Another category could be, seasonal or whatever, or purposeful whatsoever. So they serve a purpose in a certain season. Like maybe this person, your mentor, your co-workers, your school friends. And it's not like they're going to be with you forever. There's some people who were friends with me in high school they were my friends just in that high school season of my life. That was that seasonal friendship right there. And I haven't spoken to them in over 10 years. If I see them in the street, hey, what's up? You know what I mean? And, luckily for the other girls, I spoke about, we've been there since high school. Did me in high school. They transitioned into my lifelong friends. Amen. The next category can be, I'm trying to think, people, this is my prayer person. This is the person I know because listen, like I was talking to one of my girls and I was telling her, we was having this realistic conversation, and she was, we were talking about this category. I was telling about this category thing of what I do. And I was telling her, I said, these people are here, these people are here, these people are there, right? And I was like, for her, I was like, if I have faith stuff, right, I'm not, like, she's not my friend for faith conversation. She's not the person I come to. I was like, let's pray about this, whatever. I have someone who I'm like, this person is this person that I know for a fact if I'm dealing with something that's faith-wise, building my faith, praying and fasting, and I know this is the person to talk to. You understand? So you have those different categories. And because when you have those categories and when you know where people belong, guess what? It helps you to respond appropriately. So you're not angry when the person who's this way in this category is not behaving the way you're not angry about that. It makes life so much easier. And because the truth of the matter is, even though I said audit your friends, not every friendship needs like severe, total severance, whatever. No, sometimes it's just about boundaries and, putting in categories whatsoever. So definitely try that out. Look at your friendship. Look at what's going on and try to put people where it is. And sometimes what you need to realize is this: do not put yourself, even you, do not put yourself into someone's life higher than where they have put you. Oh my goodness, that's another video that I need to make on that. So if that video is out currently, you'll see the link will pop up or be in the description on the recommended videos. I'm not sure if it's out whatsoever, but I need to work on that. Look, 2020 taught me a huge lesson when it came to friendship. That's when this whole auditing began, because there were some people I was like, these are my core people. I was placing myself higher than where they placed me. Meanwhile, I was here. And I got so hurt because of that. So you gotta be honest with yourself as well. Where do you belong in this person's life? So it's not just where they belong in your life, because not everybody does this auditing thing I'm telling you about. So sometimes you gotta audit yourself in their lives as well, right? People know that, hey, don't call me to go clubbing. Like my friends know, do not club me. Yes, I do have some friends who don't mind going to the club. And like, don't call me for that. Like, if you want to go, skydiving, don't call me for that either, right? But if you want to go hiking, if you want to go do like that, you know what I mean? They know where I am, and I know where I am in them, and I'm not scared, and I'm not worried, and I'm not mad. Not anymore. I have to learn my lesson. If they don't include me in certain things, because they know that's not my vibe, that's not me, right? Okay. All right. So boundaries need to be set. Now that you have these categories, now you have these people in where the categories, wherever you're playing, you need to set boundaries. And boundaries are not mean. Boundaries aren't whatever is that people, like, I hate when people make you feel as if just because I place boundaries, you think I've switched. Yes, I have switched up. That's what you think. I switched up. I matured. I grew. That's what happened. I grew up. I now respect myself. I respect my time. I now know who I am. I now value my time. Okay? So you need to start deciding how much time, energy, and information you share with these people. Because listen, earlier in my friendship, for the longest, nobody knew anything about me, right? Except 3 people. And that was intentional. And the other people, I genuinely liked them. They were really my friends and so forth. And they confided in me and whatnot. But for me, I knew what I could share. I knew what I was willing to share. And I knew that, hey, if this comes out, I know exactly who said it. And I also know the version of what I told that person. So I know exactly who said what. And I can go back to them and be like, yo. So boundaries allow us to be able to know what we can share. So set those things. Decide how much time, how much energy, how much information you share. Say no. Boundaries helps you to say no without guilt. I've set my boundaries. I'm sorry, I cannot do this. Your birthday's coming up. I love you. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be available, blah, blah, blah. I'll send you a gift though. And that doesn't make me a bad friend. It does not. You don't have to go to every party. You don't. Boundaries allow you to remove access to areas of your life that are off limits. There's some of you have literally no boundaries. You have nothing. There's some of you who, oh my goodness, people have so much access to your life. They know everything, like literally. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't have someone who's like that. I'm not saying that, but not everybody. Jesus had his 3. Out of those 12s, he had his 3. And some people argue that he also had his 1. They say John the Beloved, even though maybe some people say it's John that named himself the Beloved. I don't know, But he had his 3. He had his 12. He had his 50. He had his 72. He had his 120. They each had different access to him. Some of you are so accessible to everybody, anything. You just met this person. They know your entire life story. They know your baby this. They know your this. They know the arguments you're having. They know, now, why would you not be hurt? Why would you not be hurt? You've given them the weapons. You've given the daggers to use. Why would you not be hurt? I'm sorry. Be nice. I'm sorry. But do you hear what I'm saying? Yes, they come back. Come back. Boundaries help you to protect your peace. Oh my goodness. When you establish boundaries, you protect your spiritual, emotional, and mental growth. So set boundaries. Set boundaries. And not only do you set boundaries, you also need to learn to discern. Even in your friendship, there's sometimes you guys are on the phone for 2 hours. The Holy Spirit is telling you, get off that phone. The Holy Spirit is saying, this conversation you're going into, switch this conversation. Stop talking. But your mouth is pee, 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 pee. Not everyone deserves your trust or your energy. Not everybody. I don't care if this person was the person who, your parents, both of you, they gave birth at the same time. One thing that I do a lot is I pray for my friends. Okay, let me not say a lot, but one of the things I'm recently restarting again is praying for my friends. Oh, I pray for my friends. Remember when I said there's 5 people around you at least tells the trajectory of your life. I don't want to be friends with people who are over there and then somebody look at them, you can already tell where I'm going, 2, 3, no. Or I'm far excelling my friends. No. I pray for my friends. I pray for their peace of mind. I pray for their heart. There's some of the friends that I have who have yet to receive Jesus Christ. I'm praying for their salvation because they're going to be pouring into me. They were going to be pouring, maybe in a sense of where I'm also thinking of myself when I pray for them, because they're pouring inside me, whatever, that's the good selfishness right there, right? That's what I'm going to say. It's a good... What you get I'm trying to say? But I pray for them. I pray for wisdom about friendships, about our friendship. I pray for wisdom about it, how to navigate through our friendship. Like I'm friends with she's actually blood related. She's one of my good friends and so forth. There was once upon a time where everything I was just tell her this person her everything and this and this and this. And then one day I was praying, or I don't know if I was praying or talking, and I heard and I felt this warning in my spirit, like, there's certain conversations that needs to be halted. Not because this person is terrible. No. It's just that this type of conversation should not be had. This type of partnership that you're trying to there's whatever. And she's amazing. I love her. What you need to do when you're learning to discern is observe actions, not just words. Because you're hearing all these sweet, beautiful nothings. And the actions, like I said, they're not. And that's when we get hurt. So take note. Take note of how people respond to your growth. Take note of those things. Notice the patterns, not just one-time behaviors. Notice patterns. So even when your friend flares off one day, you know for a fact, okay, this is not how she is. This is not how he is. So I'm not going to be offended by this because it's not who they are. When we learn to do these things, it helps us. And you sleep better, because listen, there were days I will go, I had problems sleeping because of so-called friendship. I'm so hurt of what they said, so hurt, how could they do this and that? But if I had just noticed, I'm like, this is not really how, maybe, hormones weren't really in the right place at that time. And of course, we're humans, we do get hurt, but it allows me to see things from a different perspective when I do these things. Amen. Because the truth of the matter is your circle should uplift. It should challenge and inspire you, not drain or distract you. That's one of the whole point, okay? All right? Now, you need to understand this. There's some people, like I said, and I'm going to keep saying this, who you've been friends with 20 years, 15 years, maybe last month, even so. Amazing people, but you have to let go. And let go without feeling guilty. Some friendships end because seasons change. And that's it. It's only because the season changed. And that's okay. Not out of quarrels, not out of, fights or malice or whatever. Just season changed. It changed. So you don't need to keep justifying yourself endlessly. You don't need, owe an explanation to people who don't respect your growth or trust that God, you don't need to do all that. I remember there was one particular young lady that I was friends with for a while, and a season of my life changed, so forth, and she got married, and before then, we both our lives changed. Something had transpired between us whatsoever, and we talked and all that, but I already sensed there was a shift between us. There's a shift of how, my trust towards her and vice versa. There was just a shift that happened, and there was that distance. Pretty much, the friendship was coming to an end. It was already there and whatnot, but the people around us didn't understand. The people around us, whatever. And when she got married, I remember one person day, she pulled me. She's like, "Hey, I noticed that you weren't at so-and-so's wedding." I was like, "Yeah, sit down, let's talk." And me at that time, I didn't put things, because what I should have respectfully done is say, "Thank you so much, but this conversation's not for you. This is not your business," because she just wanted to. Maybe I missed. Anyways, whatever. But hey, I sat down like, whatever. But I didn't need to explain myself to her, to that person who was, whatever, because it wasn't her business. That season just changed. It just changed. And it just changed. That's the best way I can say it, right? So we need to learn to trust God trust, because there are times that God is redirecting that friendship whatsoever for our benefit. So we need to learn to trust that. So letting go is not cruelty, it's courage. Because it's hard sometimes, right? It is, right? It's hard to be with somebody that you've been friends with for years. They know whatever. You're just like, it's hard. That's your part of you a little bit, right? But it takes courage. It's faith that God will bring that right person for you, and the right people for your journey, right? So even after all of that pruning, please don't close yourself off. There's some of you've had 20 friends. You may now end up with 5. You may now end up with just 1. Sometimes you may end up with no friend at all. Oh my goodness. And sometimes it's gonna feel so lonely at that season. But don't close yourself off, not because of hurt or whatever. Make room for God to bring in new healthy friendships. People are going to encourage you, hold you accountable, inspire you, all that stuff. Okay? All right? So, I'm encouraging you right now to do the audit. Set the boundaries. Release what no longer serves you. Step forward with people, who will lift, challenge, and truly love you for your growth. Because your peace, your purpose, and your calling deserves the right circle. And you need to understand this. Your circle can either add life to you or subtract life. So you better choose wisely. Friendship matters. It matters. But not all of them are meant to travel with you into your next season. Not all the time. So categorize, prune what needs to be, respectfully. Okay? So I want to hear from you. What did you get from this video? What's your take on friendship? What's going on? What are your thoughts? What would you add to somebody? I want to hear from you. Until then, please check out these other videos, and I'll see you right here next time. Moments of effort, or love, life, and God.